Hey guys, this is Pete, and I'm making my first video for the poker crash course. Excuse me. I wanted this to be just a little demo video to give you an idea of what kinds of stuff I'll talk about when I'm making these quick, 5-10 minute videos. A lot of the stuff I'm going to focus on in these videos are hand reading and bet sizing, and something that I think I've helped a lot of my students at are looking at kind of small pots, small situations that you never post on a forum, you never, ask people about, but that, that are really important and where people are leaving a lot of money on the table. So I just want to give a quick example of that today. This comes from a student of mine, and this hand is actually in a video I made in my most recent mid-stacking series. But it'll give you a good idea of just kind of the analysis we do. This is a 25 NL full ring mid-stacking session. If you want to learn mid-stacking, I encourage you to check those videos out. Our hero raises pocket tens to approximately 2.5x in early/middle position, gets a call from 3 spots behind him, and then I believe the big blind folds. So it's a 4-way pot with pocket tens going to the flop, which is where we start. You can see just by the player's numbers behind him, this player here seems pretty fishy at 23-2, and then we have two guys with closer to reg stats here, 16-12 and 15-11. That leads me to think this guy is going to be entering the pot with quite a wide range. Not super wide, necessarily. I don't think he's entering with like 7-4 or something like that, but he's going to have a wider cold calling range than these regulars who are going to have more of a standard pocket pairs, Broadway card, or suited Broadway cards type of range, I think, more often. And this guy can have a little bit more randomness. So we'll pick it up here as we get to the flop. And we get a really great flop for our hand. We weren't 3-bet pre-flop, therefore we shouldn't have to worry a lot about jacks plus. And the other good thing about this flop is that pocket pairs are very much a part of all three of these players' ranges. Even the regs definitely have pocket pairs in their range. A fish is definitely going to call with all pocket pairs here. A fish can also have a hand that's going to peel this flop like ace-4, ace-3, even like 3-4 suited. Fish can, peel a flop like that. So the rest of their range, like we were talking about with these players, a lot of the rest of their range are suited Broadway hands that I think are just gonna snap fold on this flop. Although if they had like a backdoor flush draw like king queens of spades, they could definitely float you once. That being said, the key to this hand is bet sizing. We need to lean our bet larger than smaller on this flop. And when I say leaning it, I mean take your average bet sizing and make it bigger. If you're just mindlessly c-betting half pot on this board or 2/3 pot on this board, I think that's a big mistake. I think it's a big mistake to just have a standard bet size that in all c-bets you're just making it half pot, 2/3 pot, whatever. Because all situations are not the same. In fact, they're quite different based on board texture and opponents that are in the hand. Therefore, to do the same thing and make the same sizing in every situation is a mistake, and it kind of takes the art away from poker as we know it, because part of the art form of No Limit Hold'em is being able to size your bets in all sorts of crazy ways, under bets, over bets, big bets, half pot bets, whatever. So I want to call whatever, I want to bet on this flop, whatever I think a pocket pair, like 9s, 8s, 7s, 6, 5s, not 5s, 4s and 3s are going to call, and so, as I was going through the sweat session with my student, we decided on about a $2 bet would seem right, as opposed to half potting it at like $1.30, $1.40. And you might say, yeah, $2, so what? I would have made it $2 anyways. But the key is that it's not just this hand, it's every hand you're thinking of what's the proper bet sizing to accomplish what it is I want to accomplish. We maybe even could have gone like 215 and just squeezed out a little bit more value. Because if pocket pairs are a huge part of their range, then there's potential scare cards that can come on turns and rivers, so we want to get money in the pot now. We get called by the fishier player and the 2 regs fold out, which is actually great news for us, and the fish just snap called it. He had very little thought about it, which makes me think pocket pair. Because if he, first of all, if he flopped a monster, I think he would take at least a second to think about, hey, do I want to raise this flop with my deuces full or my trip fives? Do I want to, slow play it, whatever? But he just snap calls it. And I don't think he just snap call this board with king queen or queen jack, which makes me think he has pocket pairs, nines down. Most likely a smaller pair, sevens, sixes, etc. So since this is just the perfect turn card for us to keep barreling because fish aren't going to fold the full house, I would make the turn bet pretty large again. We don't want to necessarily, well, I mean, based on stack sizes, I guess you don't need to make it too large because we don't want them to fold out a smaller pair, but we want them to feel committed by the river. So let's see what turn sizing we come up with. And this is where putting in more money on the flop can help, because you can make a turn sizing that, a fish is going to have a hard time getting away from. And you just snap calls it again. That's probably, maybe just a little bit too big. But again, fishy players don't like to fold full houses. So I think, he's not necessarily going to put us on an over pair every time. Queen comes on the river. Villain should have 0 queens in his range that he snap calls twice. The only potential hand would be like king, queen of hearts, I guess, or something like that, which would be just, it doesn't even make sense. So I think this river is a shove. And you might say, well, why would we shove? We can't get any worse hands to call on this board. They're not going to call 3 barrels with a small pair. Well, you know what? Let's let him try. Because he doesn't have any bluffs in his range. He has all 100% showdown value in his range. I guess the other hand that could have gotten to the river that doesn't have showdown value would be like an ace-4 of hearts or something like that. But 99% of his range has showdown value, so if we check it, he just gets to check down all the showdown value that we beat, and we don't put any pressure on him. So I think you need to bet this river. The question is, do you try and squeeze out, like a $3 bet on this river, or do you just shove the 10 in? And it's really close. I probably, when in doubt, I lean towards the bigger bet sizing and would just shove in here. And I think what my student ends up doing is betting like 975, like not quite all in, but mostly all in. And we at least give him a chance to look us up with his pocket sixes or something like that. So we bet. And he snaps it off for $9. And you probably want to see what he had. And you can't because of my window, but villain had pocket 3s. Villain had pocket 3s and called us down 3 streets on that board. So I don't think, good players are going to make that play, obviously, but part of poker is taking advantage of the fish, and we want to size our bets on board textures that favor us in ways that are large and accomplish our goal. Hope you learned something. Thanks for watching.